Hello everyone, I'm Bunny Says, and we're here today to discuss another episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. I hope you're well. It's about 15 degrees Celsius today, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, around there. And luckily I have the windows closed, so it could be nice and quiet, and hopefully we won't hear the birds so much. We can still hear them a little bit, but I'm glad no fan. It's nice and cool, so hopefully I'm thinking in the fall time that there might be nice days to record, so that should be nice. Something funny just happened. I just started recording, and I got a pop filter. Hopefully it's working, and I went to grab a sip of water and from the glass I have here and hit the end of, just touched the cord, the wire of the filter, and I thought, oh well, I guess that'll make a little bit of noise. I better start over since I just started. So I turned around, shut it off, and listened to it. It made this unbelievably loud sound. It was just bong. It sounded exactly like that, except really loud. And I was like, wow, God, just that one little tap, and it made that. It just echoed for like 5 minutes, which is about the length of the recording. I was like, all right, good thing I stopped and started over again. Anyway, let's go back to our regular game. Was Rumpel's route. It might rain a little bit later. I better be careful. I believe there's going to be some thunderstorms, so we might have to watch out for that. But okay, we were playing Rumpel's game, and let's see here. Oh yes, I totally remember. Excuse me. We were, Lucette had just recently, she had just met with Bria and got the journals, Rumpel's journals from her, and asked to meet her at a cafe in the plaza. And Bria told us her story. I remember that a lot, actually. And she was discussing how, at first, she was infatuated with the doctor, Rumpel, and she turned around and they fell in love, and of course, you know, they got married. Excuse me, and things were good for a while, and then he started, I guess, putting his doctor. I mean, that's something to think about. I guess he was putting his doctoring maybe first above their own welfare, because of his belief that doctors should help people no matter what. I mean, I agree with that as well, but he obviously needs money to live as well. He was taking patients without paying for them and buying medicine with all their money that they had, and they began to go broke, I guess. And Bria started to become sort of upset about it. You know, and they started arguing, and things were going bad, and she began to collect money, try to collect money from some of the patients that they had going around behind his back for them just to live. And she felt humiliated by it. And one of the patients was a nobleman, and she began to have an affair with him. And and it just went bad from there. And they eventually called it the nobleman called it quits eventually, and she got stuck with the rumors and that she had been cheating on her husband. No, which were true, but nobody, nobody knew the full story. So, and Lucette came away with the journal. Bria gave her the journals and wished her luck. And Lucette was surprised that Rumpel was like that, and that maybe there was the implication that possibly Lucette was falling down the same path, that she was just becoming infatuated with the doctor, and that he'll do the same thing, and she'll have the same arguments, So she hadn't come to any real conclusion to that, I believe. But she was hoping, she came back, I remember, she came back to, she was going back to town, and she met Waltz, and Waltz said they had been looking for him. He had gone out. And, Rumpel. And, he hadn't come back yet, and they were looking for him, and, she returned. She was going to go look for him, but she returned. Waltz told her to go back to the Marchand and stay in the tavern and wait for him there, so that way they wouldn't just everybody running around and wouldn't be all confused. So that's our story up until now. So let's continue and see what happens. I remember she's now in the common room. And, okay, let's go from here. My mood feels completely dashed as I enter the Marchand to whispers, both relieved and disappointed. Surprisingly, I get away with just a lecture from Delora and Parfait because of her going out and sneaking out and getting the journals. It seems as if there is something else on their mind, something that most likely involves the rumors circulating around town. Now, I remember the guards were out looking for... all the guards were out looking around, and she had bumped into the masked man with the black tuxedo, the black cloak and the black mask. Yes, I said tuxedo because I was thinking of getting a tuxedo mask. I wait downstairs for a long time for Rumpel, but neither him nor Waltz appear. Where are they? Oh, okay. Oh, well, it's been that long. She goes back. She's now in her room. And she is... It says, I retire to my room later as I wait for news. It's been that long. Waltz eventually returns, saying that Rumpel is still out because he had things he wanted to do. I have no idea what that means, but it unsettles me. Should I go find him? Okay, wow, that was fast. We have a decision to either leave the room or stay in the room. Well, I know that, I personally think it's a bad idea to be running around, because then everybody just gets lost if she goes running around, but and he did say he had things to do. Presumably, he's safe. So I better stay in the room. I think I should. We know that he's safe, so and he should be okay. So let's stay in the room. Knowing everyone, if I tried to leave the Marchand, they would get riled up again. I have already had Delora come in so many times to make sure I am still here. Oh, okay, so that's even worse. If she runs off, they'll immediately know. And they'll be mad. I sit up on my bed and stare at the bag of journals beside my bedside table. Yeah, I know she she's obviously eager and anxious about what happened with Bria, and to give Rumpel the journals too. So, yeah, see, and here I was looking forward to giving these journals to him. They just showed the bag with the journals. Well, there's a knock at the door. I'm still here, Delora. No. Rumpel stands in the doorway. Yeah, see, Rumpel knocks. I stare at the bouquet he has in his hand, wondering where he got it, and what it might be for. Oh, there he is, smiling as normal. Rumpel. Ah, there she is, the wonderful Princess Lucette. I was worried you had come and gone with the wind again, free spirit that you are. I stand as he steps into the room. I'm glad to see you back, Princess. I'm only sorry that I couldn't make it back here any faster. I had a few errands of my own to run in town. Rumpel holds out the bouquet with a glittering smile. Like buying these flowers for the girl that I really like, for instance. I stare down at the beautiful bouquet made up of white lilies, but the appearance slowly leaves my mind as I think of what Rumpel just said. He bought them for a girl he likes, not for me. Oh, come on. She's got to be sharper than that, I mean. Okay. No judgment, but we'll just go on. My heart feels as if I might be pierced through with something sharp. My breath escapes my throat, but I cannot bring myself to inhale again. Rumpel looks at me in alarm. She was just sick, so... Lucette. I nudge him out of the way and walk past him. Well, really? She wouldn't have... honestly, I would have just, I probably would have froze him and like, who are the flowers for, It would have been like that, I might make my way to the reception area, where I collapse onto one of the couches and sit, staring blankly at the walls. The feelings inside of me are too much all at once. I tell myself that they do not make any sense, and that the way I reacted to what Rumpel said was pitiful. And yet still, I cannot stop myself from feeling small. Okay, she was down in the common room, so I sink into the couch and close my eyes, willing away the sound of my rapidly beating heart, and the tears stinging the edge of my eyes. I am not weak. I will not cry. Mother told me. Well, she is crying. The picture actually, the portrait of her showing her as she has tears coming from her eyes. But the thought of Mother makes the tears worse, and soon I am sinking even further into the couch, trying to hide my tear-stained face in my hands. Mother. Bria. They both said the same things. They both see the bad in people, and I too have seen the bad in them. When I was on the streets, no one in Engel showed me kindness. People will never show you kindness unless there is something in it for them. They will never... I feel sudden warmth as arms wrap around me. I recognize this sensation, the warmth, the comfort. It is all so comforting, so soothing. Rumpel. I must be the worst person in the world to make such a beautiful lady cry as a sin that I must atone for. My body stiffens, but I do not pull away. I listen to the sound of his heartbeat against my ear, and slowly but surely, my crying dies away. My eyes are sore by the time I finally manage to still the tears. I feel drowsiness descend upon me like a blanket, but I will not fall asleep. Slowly, I pry myself from the arms holding me. Hello, my love. That's Rumpel. I messed up again, didn't I? I do not see the bouquet in his hands, but a journal. One of the journals I brought back for him, from Bria. You're capable of a lot more good than I am, Princess. Just look at this. He reaches out and touches my necklace. I glance down at it. Oh my god, she got another piece of the, of her necklace, of the slipper. You got my journals back for me. I saw them in your room. Oh, that's right, she got the piece. Oh, she got the piece before when she got the journals. And I feel it, that this one, the most recently dated one, is the one that I need to unlock my final memory. I grasp the second incomplete glass slipper around my neck and breathe out softly. And this really is from retrieving Rumpel's journals for him. I got a good deed for finally doing something good for Rumpel. Would you allow me to read it with you? He reaches out and gently brushes a tear from my face. You did all of this for me, and you barely know anything about me. Lucette, that makes both of us. If you wouldn't mind, I want to read out this entry for you. I nod even though I should be shaking my head, even though I should still be hurt. I cannot stay mad at Rumpel. On this night, I am a poor man. This is Rumpel reading from his journal. Everything that is precious to me has been stolen away by the witch. Rumpel's voice catches in his throat as he stares at the words. I look over his shoulder at the journal. Witch? Was he already cursed when he wrote this? But I have no one to blame but myself. Bria told me before that I would suffer for my selflessness, and so now I find myself here. And now, because of that same selflessness, Bria is sick, and I cannot save her. There is only one thing left to do. I have wronged Bria in so many ways, and now I would give anything it takes to save her. No matter what price the witch asks, I will pay for it. I will pay it. I only hope that Bria can forgive me before she leaves. I will write again when the witch has left. I swear that after today, I will change for good. I will not ask the witch to perform any more miracles. Rumpel's finger goes to the page, where he softly touches a single word. His eyes have the glazed look in them that they have before, and I could tell his memories are snapping back together. For tonight, good night, and may tomorrow be a better morning. I read the last word, a name and a signature. Rumpel reads it aloud, slowly. Chevalier Dumont. Your name is Chevalier? He looks up at me, his eyes forlorn, and then, with sadness, he speaks. That's right. Oh, we have his name now. Chevalier. That's his name. I was surprised. I thought it would be his title, but that's, that reminds me of Carmen's route, when we got his name as well. It's sort of odd that you go through the stories and you begin to learn their names, the sort of true names almost. And anyway, Chevalier, that's right. Lucette, it is so strange. It is just a different name, and yet it seems to change him completely. I remember everything now. I was given the Rumpelstiltskin curse because I sacrificed too much. First it was the boy, the one I saw on the market. I struck a deal with a woman to save him. A witch. He mentioned striking a deal with a woman, but a witch? No, it's a flashback. It's Parfait and Rumpel. And I remember this. Parfait saying, I don't have the ability to heal, none of us do, except for one particular witch who calls herself the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor? Is something wrong? That name just sounds familiar. That was the flashback they were having. And Lucette remembers the Witch Doctor? Rumpel. It's no wonder I recognized the name, but yes, it was her. She promised she could heal the boy, but for a price. I had to give her a family heirloom. My family stethoscope. Okay. Next was a nobleman. I could not help him, and so he lay in his bed dying. The witch visited again, and I gave her what she asked for. What did you give her? My engagement ring. Oh God, really? Well, Bria found out. She told me she'd never forgive me. And then she chased the nobleman to ask for the money we desperately needed, and... well, you know the rest. He gave away things that were precious to him, all to help those people. And it's noble, but at the same time, it's also very harsh, so... Then Bria got sick. I made one last deal with the witch, because I was desperate to save her life. But it wasn't until after she healed Bria that she told me what she wanted. Bad deal. Very bad deal. You have to promise ahead of time to do anything. She wanted your Lucette. She wanted your memories. Chevalier, I don't remember what happened exactly. I think I panicked because I suddenly lost my memories. I ran out into the alleys, bumped my head on something, fell unconscious. And then I woke up here in the tavern. I had no idea who I was or how I had gotten cursed. That must be incredibly frightening, really. Rumpel, Chevalier's expression grows more somber. I deserved to be cursed after everything I had done. I was so selfish. An idealist, maybe. But I hurt Bria because I refused to see reality. I still deserve to be cursed, actually. But why? Because I am still selfish. Even having remembered everything that made me a bad person, I still desire something. Someone I shouldn't have. My heart plummets again as he looks at me. I still want so badly to forge a future with someone I don't deserve. Because what am I other than a poor doctor? I'm no knight in shining armor, and I'm no prince. Strange, considering his name. He puts a hand on my cheek and leans closer to me. The distance between us closes in mere seconds. But still, I keep on dreaming because His fingers gently caress my cheek, and suddenly I know. I know what he's going to say before he even says it. Now we have a choice. We could say, I love you, or we could ask, you love me? Oh wow, that's a very hard option now that I think about it. But if I ask, you love me, that would be normal. But if I just flat out say, I love you, I mean, it's a commitment to, a very solid commitment to him. I mean, that means basically that's it. Like, we know that she just said she knows what he's going to say before he even says it. Or is she saying that that's what he's saying? That's what he's going to say, like, that he loves me, or is she asking, you love me? I guess she would, she said she's going to, I'm going to take it that way, so, she says that she knows, so, I'll just flat out say it. It's obvious she loves him anyway, too, so, that she has begun to fall in love with him. I mean, she's crying at the very thought of him even seeing someone else, or loving someone else. It's heartbreaking to her. So, okay, yeah, let's just say it. I love you. Or, he seemed mad. But I'm not. Whether you are Rumpel or Chevalier, you are the same person. You do not need to be a knight or a prince. He accepted me for who I was, and he still does. Mother told me that humans were untrustworthy, but Chevalier smiles at me as he puts his other hand on my back and pulls me closer. The smile is so genuine and so gentle, the same smile I have grown to love. Oh God, he's kissing her. I mean, there's a picture of her, him kissing her, which is sort of surprisingly blunt in this game to me. Whatever words I have been meaning to say die in my throat as he leans forward and gently places his lips on mine. Oh, for God, for a minute there I thought, when he said, but wait, I thought he was going to say, but I'm in love with someone else. I'm really not in love with you. That would have been horrible. Okay, let's continue here. I feel more grounded than I have ever felt before, but I also feel like I am flying. I set my hands on his chest and flex my fingers into his shirt. That's a nice description. He runs his fingers gently down my face, then down the length of my neck. The kiss feels too short, yet I am still breathless when Chevalier pulls away from me, just enough so that I can see his eyes. I love you, my sweet princess. For your smile, for your laugh, for the way you look out for other people. You're bold and feisty. You remind me of a firework. You are beautiful, inside and out. The compliment warms my heart in a way that makes me feel like I might be melting. He reaches behind him and holds out the bouquet from earlier. These are for you. You like lilies, don't you? I take the bouquet from him and bring it to my nose. These have always been my favorite flower. How did you know? Chevalier grins at me, and it is so familiar to his previous smiles that I know he must not have changed. The first time I gave you that white chocolate flower, your eyes lit up. I remember that. figured out that Chevalier was perceptive before, but the bouquet in my hands feels all the more meaningful now. Excuse me. Princess, I swear that I want to try and change. For you. You should do it for yourself, too. Myself? You should spoil yourself more, too. You always give to others, but don't take care. But don't take for yourself. Now you know what you did, and you can change things. Oh yeah, that's right, He said the same thing to her, to spoil herself, And maybe partly he was talking about himself, too. If Bria can change, or if Bria can, then so can I. Bria? I went and spoke to her when I was in town today, while I was getting the bouquet as a gift for you. We had a talk about moving on. I didn't understand it fully, and I don't think she did either. But we both agreed that we should. That's, it's sort of harsh, but it might have been for the best. They might have problems in the past that just they wouldn't forget or they wouldn't overcome, so it might be a good thing for them to move on. So it feels good. It feels, it does. It feels in a way good, and that there's closure to it, or at least there's a beginning of one. So I'm going to change what I can, Princess, and I promise that I'm going to help you break your curse, just as you helped me break mine. All the good things that I have done are for you. That was Lucette. Chevalier, that's true. But you've done a lot of other good things too, even if they may not be big enough to count for your 3 good deeds. It just so happens that your curse is very picky. Good things. Even though I'm still curt and say more hurtful things than not. I fingered the necklace at my neck and thought, maybe Chevalier is right. Maybe I have changed, and it is a good thing, and it is a good change. I sit close to Chevalier as the night goes on. He tells me a little bit about his past, and I tell him about mine. About Mother and the palace. The night is not one for advice, just listening. And I remember what Chevalier told me once, that listening can be just as meaningful as advice. That listening to others can help you understand them. And he was right. Okay. We're in the tavern now. I'm going to close this file here. It's going past 30 minutes, so let's stop here for a bit, and then we'll continue right on. I'm glad you're back and you're listening, and so just hold on a moment, and we'll be right back. So thank you for being here, and just give me a second.